From broadcast centers in Beijing, Washington, and Nairobi, a unique global perspective. 6 channels and a video content service. News when you want it and where you want it. On TV screens, websites, mobile platforms, and social media. CGTN. See the difference.
Voters dressed in their Bavarian best to cast ballots in state parliament elections. Exit polls suggest the current ruling party will not hold on to its absolute majority. And some worry that could mean trouble for German Chancellor Angela Merkel's national government. CGTN's Natalie Carney is in Munich. Natalie, where do things stand now with that vote? Well, to put it lightly, one of the local newspapers here in Bavaria has basically called the elections the most painful election deceit in the past 50 years for the CSU, the Christian Socialist Union, which has been running the state of Bavaria with a majority government since 1957. But according to the latest exit polls from the public broadcaster ARD, the CSU were only able to grab 35.5% of the votes. That may sound like much, but a far decrease from the 48% that they pulled in back in 2013. So that does mean that they will not rule this state with another majority government, will thereby have to try to find a coalition in which to partner with. The Bavarian state premier spoke to his supporters shortly after the polls closed here in Munich.
Wir haben kein gutes Ergebnis erzielt.
We accept the result with humility, and we will have to learn from it. We must analyze it clearly. But one thing is clear. Despite some prognosis, discussions, and comments, the CSU is not only the strongest party, but it also received a clear mandate to govern.
The second force here in Bavaria will be the Greens. As predicted, they brought in 18.5%. They are being considered the biggest winners of these elections because they more than doubled, in fact, the results that they received back in 2013 in their last election. The anti-immigration AfD, Alternative for Deutschland, which rallies against Muslims as well as demands that Merkel must go, won 11% of the vote. They have been referred to as a far-right party here in Germany and basically stormed to the forefront back in the federal elections in 2017. They are now present in 15 of Germany's 16 state assemblies. Their AfD candidate also spoke to supporters earlier today.
This result is also a message to Merkel. Merkel must finally go. We are the natural successors to the CSU. We stand for our traditions, our families, and for our Bavaria. For Bavaria is a blessed land, dear friends.
According to voter turnout, reports are saying that this vote pulled in 72.5% of those eligible to vote. Again, a sharp increase that from what we saw back in 2013 of 63.9% of the votes. Natalie Carney, live for us in Munich. Thank you so much, Natalie. Well, thousands of Asian and African migrants are prepared to risk everything to reach Western Europe. Many take the so-called Mediterranean route over tough terrain through the Balkans. That path takes them through a handful of countries. And CGTN's Alahosa Milenkovic followed a group of migrants on their journey.
Driving along a beautiful route through the town of Bihać, and dozens of migrants walk on the side of the road towards their improvised camp close to the town's city center. Lunchtime is an hour from now, but yet they've already started queuing. They don't have too much help here, and they pray for nice weather to continue.
Over the last few days, higher pressure is felt on the Bosnia and Herzegovina borders with Croatia and Montenegro. The migrant route is very active. It's obvious the migrants and smugglers want to transfer as many people as possible before the winter.
And Bihać is the place where that increasing pressure is very visible. Hundreds of migrants are here in this makeshift camp just hand throw away from Bihać city center. Most of them are single males from Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, and North Africa countries. They are waiting for an adequate moment to try to illegally cross the border into Croatia. Here is the place where the migrants are most often trying to cross into Croatia. It's around the Izačić border crossing. Local police officers are doing their best to prevent them, but they're overwhelmed by the sheer numbers of migrants.
During all of last year, we had 80 cases of attempted illegal border crossings by migrants.